Let's see how we can connect Linode with LaunchWP. So LaunchWP is a WordPress-focused server management dashboard using which you can launch blazing fast WordPress sites in your own server. So either it be Linode, DigitalOcean, AWS, or GCP. So LaunchWP integrates with any VPS in the world as long as you are able to SSH. So in this video, I'll be showing you how you can connect a Linode with LaunchWP. So to get started, you can just sign up in Linode, and when you are in this interface, you can just click create and we'll be creating a Linode. For the region, I'll just stick with the Atlanta one. For the OS, please make sure it's always Ubuntu 24.04 LTS because our platform, though it works with most of the Debian versions, but still we recommend that you go with Ubuntu 24.04 because this is the version we are mostly tested upon. For the plan, I'll just stick with the dedicated 4G for now because that's just more than enough for this demonstration. For these details, I'll just leave it as it is. For the security, this is the root password. We can just enter one. Please make sure this you like note this password because we're gonna need it when we'll be connecting to LaunchWP. So I will be just using the one that I generally use. For the SSH keys, let's just keep it empty for now. For you, this might be empty. For me, it isn't. So just leave it as it is for now. For the VPC and firewall, let's just ignore for now, and then we can click create Linode. So by the time it's creating that Linode, let's go to LaunchWP to see how we can get started, creating our accounts and getting started. So I'll just click get started over here, and then on the view pricing, let's see the steps at first. So there are three general steps, irrespective of which server you go with, which cloud provider you go with. So the first step is to provision a server with the OS of Ubuntu 24.04 LTS, which is the one that I just mentioned. Then we need to connect it to LaunchWP using the SSH details, and then we can launch our WordPress sites. So let's go to the pricing and get started with the Platinum base plan. So I'll just click get started. So from here, we can just enter account information to get started. So I'll just use the username of this and a password. So please make sure you note this password because we're gonna need this later as well. For the first name and last name, let's use the name Ahuna and the last name should be Ikra. For some reason, I just like those names. For the username, let's use this. For the email as well. So I'll just stick with the yearly plan for now and then click submit and check out. So currently it's in test mode, so we can just use some test credit cards over here. And then some dummy details which aren't really needed to be accurate. We'll just go with the default dummy postal code and click subscribe. So here my Linode is running as well. You can see it's running. So let's wait for it to complete. So I have successfully gave the order for my plan. So I'm on the platinum plan, and it's valid up to for 1 year because I have gone with the yearly one. So I'll just click view your plan account. So either you can just click when you are logged in to the launchwp.io, you can just click on this account icon and you'll be redirected to this dashboard. From here, you can manage the billing, change it, cancel it, or just open the server dashboard. So for now, we will be just opening the server dashboard. And over here, we'll be seeing the instructions on how to access it. So you just need to use the credentials you used for the launchwp.io to access the um, server dashboard. So I'll just click on this. And from here, we can just log in with the credentials of this account we just created. So the server dashboard is located on app.launchwp.io and the billing portal is located on launchwp.io. So the credentials are the same for both. So there isn't any double credentials. So I'll be just using the credentials that I just used to create the account. And that should be it. So no, I don't want to save it. So here I can see my plan overview on my dashboard. So to get started, I'll just click on this, and here I have the option to manage servers, sites, and teams. So I'll just click servers for now, and from here we can add a new server. I'll be just adding a new server. So first, the provider name, it should be a name which should be an identifier for you, so it's nothing related to server or anything. So I'll just be naming it Linode 1 for now. For the IP address, we can just go back to Linode, and this is the IP we'll be using, the public IP version 4, not the public IP version 6. We'll be using the IP version 4 for now. I'll just copy it and then come back over our dashboard and paste it. For the SSH port, as I didn't change anything on my Linode, the SSH port should be by default 22. If you do change it, just use the SSH port you just changed it to. For the SSH username, we're going to use root because it's always recommended to connect with the root account so that we don't run into any permission issues. For the SSH authentication, we have two options, the password and the public key. So the password should be the password you use to create the Linode. So you can just enter the password and click create server. But for this demonstration, I will just connecting to the public key because that's much safer rather than just entering your password. So to do that, just you simply need to copy this command and run it into the server by SSH after SSHing it. So let me show you how to do that. So this is the command we need to use to SSH to the new Linode we just created. So I'll just open up my terminal. So I'm in Windows. So for your Mac, it might be different, but it's generally the same for all. So we can just paste this command, we just copy it, just click enter, and it's asking for the first time because I just created this Linode. So just click yes. And it's asking for the password. I'll just enter that. So this is the password we need to use, which we use to create this Linode. So over here, I am logged into my SSH to my server. So here I'll be just using the command for the SSH public key. I'll just click copy this command and come back over here and paste it. And that should be it. Nothing needs to be done more. So I'll just minimize this and nothing else should be needed. We can just click create server now over here. And as you can see, LaunchWP was able to successfully connect to the server. Now we can go ahead to install the site. So you can just click, so over here, you can just click sites and you'll be redirected to this page. You can just click create site. So this is the site name. You can just enter your domain name under which you want to install your site on. So so I want to show this demonstration on one of my subdomains, so which will be test3.winijobs.com. So make sure you have access to this domain because you're gonna need to add some DNS records to this. So so this domain is managed by Cloudflare for me. So if you're using any other provider, let's say Namecheap or any other, so the configuration might be different, but it's generally the same, just adding one DNS record. For the server, just selecting Linode, and here is the section where we can add the DNS records. So we need to add a type record with a value of this. So I'll just copy the A record and I'll come back to my Cloudflare dashboard because I manage my DNS via Cloudflare. So over here, I'll just click add record. So if you're using any other provider, just check it your provider documentation. It might be showing how you can add a DNS record. So for the record, you can just select the type of A. For the name, I will just add test3 because I am installing it on the subdomain of test3. In your case, it might not be the same. In your case, it might be just the root domain. You can just use @ in that case so that it installs or adds to the root domain. But for me, it's for the subdomain. So I'll just go with test3. For the IP version 4, you can just paste this one, which you just copied, which is the server IP. So LaunchWP doesn't manage your DNS. It's just your server IP. You are pointing your domain to point to your server. So LaunchWP has no middleware in it. So after this, the proxy status can remain to true. We don't really care about it. So we can just click save and that should be it. So next we can select the admin username and admin password. I'll just leave it as it is. We can just copy this so that we can use it to log in later on. For the security, we have got one free SSL from Let's Encrypt. So as I am under Cloudflare and my parent domain has SSL already, I wouldn't really need this SSL certificate. So if you enable both from Let's Encrypt and Cloudflare or any other providers, if you have two providers providing SSL, there might be an issue on your side. So you can just disable that this option if you already have an SSL. I already have an SSL, but still I'll keep it open to show you what's the problem that it might cause and how to resolve it. So let's keep it enabled for now. For the WordPress version, let's set it to latest. For the PHP version, I'll go with the 8.4. For the table prefix, let's set it to WP underscore. And it should be it. I'll just click create site for now. So if this is your first site on your first server, it might take an approximately of 10 minutes, more or less. But if it's your second site or third site, it won't take more than 2 to 3 minutes. So this is my first site on this server. So just hang on a moment. It is just working in the background, and it will report back if it faces any issues. There is no need to reload this page or doing any other. You can just keep this tab open and work on other tabs. So by the time it's processing, so let's wait for it to get completed, and I'll just get back after it's done. So the site has been created successfully. So it took around 7-8 minutes. So as I mentioned, it might be more or less 10 minutes, but it's done as of now. So I can just visit the dashboard. So if the domain is correctly pointing to your server, the site should be up. If I visit this URL, I should see, but as I mentioned, there will be an error. And this is the one that I mentioned, error to main redirects, because I have two SSL. This is one from the Cloudflare and another from the Let's Encrypt. So to resolve this, we can just navigate to manage and then disable the SSL from Let's Encrypt. So you can just uncheck this and then save the changes. So this should disable the SSL from Let's Encrypt and use the one from Cloudflare. So if I come back over here and reload this page, so my site is up. So this is how you can launch your WordPress site in Linode within just a few clicks. So you just get the SSH details, connect to LaunchWP, and your site should be up. So that's it for today. Feel free to share any feedback, suggestions, or any comments. So we will be more than happy to look into it. And thank you for watching.